Okay, so is this working? Yeah, it should be. So is this working? Yeah, okay, it is. Great. So I'm here, right there, with a new Unity project opened. Um, just tell me quickly if you can see everything. I guess should be okay. You should be hearing me nice as well. So, first of all, let me tell you a little bit about what my idea is for this. Basically, as you may have seen on the thumbnail, um, I'm gonna try to make a game where we control. I'm not sure whether it's gonna be a cube or a ball, but basically a simple shape. So let me actually already, and you will be able to control its rotation, left, right, and it's gonna be always like thirsting forward, and there will be some procedurally generated obstacles that and the camera will be following you when you get close to the edge, and then it will be like teleporting to the next location. So like the ball is gonna be going like this, right? Then when it gets close to the edge is gonna move, like for example like this, and then you're gonna go further. So that's the basic idea on what I'm gonna be trying to accomplish here. And yeah, let's get into it, I guess. So first of all, I'm gonna go quickly make myself a player here. So let's say like 100. Okay, great. Uh-huh. Some sort of player sprite, so that we have that. Okay, nice. Now here. Now white, please. Okay, great. Export. Now that's fun. Assets. Player sprite. Let's say. Okay. There we go. Yeah. So now let me create a 2D object here called player. Okay, where is the player? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I wonder why that camera is perspective. Let it be orthographic. Orthographic. Yeah, okay, that sounds good. Uh-huh. Okay. Um, Basically, this little ball, it's gonna be moving like either forward or hmm, I'm not actually sure how I'll position it just yet. Oh no, maybe not like this. Yeah, it's gonna be portrait definitely. Okay, let's it's gonna be going forward and it's gonna be rotating. Okay, so the player is rotating the player is controlling the rotation of it, and it's gonna be going forward all the time. So let me just quickly code that. It shouldn't be too much of a hassle here. So folder scripts. Okay, so this is gonna be let's just call it player. There shouldn't be much issues with that. Um, so first of all, we're gonna actually, do we need even any references? I don't think so. Uh, at first, let me just start by doing um if input dot get key down, I believe it was. No, just get key 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 code dot let's say uh, left arrow. Can I get that? Yes. Then transform dot rotation. No, transform dot rotate. Yeah, and now I'll have to think about that because rotating is actually pretty hard. But okay, so X. Mm, not on X. It's gonna be around Z, I believe. Z angle. So let's say here 1. Huh? Just like that. Does that do that? Yeah, it does. Okay, now let's just float strength equals 1f. Okay, so now this will be times strength times time dot delta time, because so that it is frame independent. And now the same thing for the other arrow, except on -1. Actually, this is the -1 thing, because this is the left arrow, so now this is gonna be a right arrow. And now this is gonna have this whole line here. Right, and with a positive value. Okay. Should be good. Let me just look at chat here very quickly. Engine is Unity. Yeah. Um, and we're let me just see how that quickly works out here. So right now it's not gonna move forwards or anything, but it should rotate when I use my arrow keys. And it does, by a little bit. It's a little bit too low, let's say. Okay, that sounds good. Like, it wasn't visible, but it did rotate on Z, which you can see right in the transform value. Okay, so now let me try to do. I'm gonna create a static reference to this player. So current player equals this. Okay, so this is gonna help us quite a bit here. Now, let me get a little bit of a nicer color here. I'm not actually sure what it should be yet, but for now, let's say something like. No, that's painful. Let's stay with that. I like that. Um. Yeah, this is good. Now huh. I'm gonna take and quickly make my player go forward all the time. So each update transform uh position plus equals new vector 3, and now we're moving up, so on the y-axis. Now this is gonna be okay, so let's rotating strength, and now similar thing for the forward strength. So equals 1f. Okay. Now here 1 times, actually this doesn't make sense, forward strength times time dot delta time, and 0. Alright. Okay, there we go. Now let's see what this does. I think it's gonna be pretty straightforward, but for now, actually I wanted that 100 here. No, not in this one. This one has, let's say, 1 for now, and this one, yeah. So now it should go forward, and when I use my mouse keys, okay, so it does go forward, but not. Alright. That's because it ignores the rotation right now. How do I actually add that in a way that it move forward? Does that make sense? Is there any function like that? Transform dot position plus equals transform forward times forward strength. I believe that makes sense. Let me see now. Okay, so okay, he is going forward like on the z-axis, which isn't really what I want. Hmm. Hmm. Hi, Coffee. Why is it weird? Fuck. Mm, ha ha ha. How would I go about this then? Because I wanted to actually take into account our current rotation. So, so for now, let me do that, and now transform, go forward. Is there something like that? Mm -hmm. Oh, there is transformed it up. I remember. That should do it perfectly. Instead of forward. Let's go. Because up is the y-axis, and that's exactly what we want here. So, oh wow, he went quite fast. Forward strength, let me like here for now, because our camera doesn't move yet. So, okay. And now if I change my rotation, as you can see, I actually also change where I'm going. Oh no, oh no. Okay, I lost myself. Well, no matter. Let's say here, like 0.5 for now. Okay. So I need to swap the arrows because that's the only part that isn't proper right now. So this one will have 1 and this one will have -1. And then it'll make sense. The ball will move as we want it to move. I just wonder if I this one doesn't work. None of these really work, do they? Let me just quickly here take it, make a new sprite. We don't need any pixels since besides 1. Okay, paint that white. Now quickly save that to my to here, and now that's square sprite. And we'll decide which one is better as we go on, because right now I have no idea whatsoever. Okay, so square sprite, why aren't you showing up? Is it just that small right now, or it may be? So native size maybe, is there something like that? Actually, I should do something else. I should change that to... Yeah, that makes sense more. Okay, and now, since that's a cube now, yeah, you can see more clearly what actually is happening. Okay, nice. So that's the basis of a movement. Now, what I want to make next is Hmm. What would I actually want to mix next? Let's try out some obstacles, shall we? Mm, wasn't there something like trail? Let's see, what's a trail? What if I did childed the trail to our object? I'm curious what'll happen. Okay, that's fun. Okay, good to know I have something like that to work with. Uh, I could actually maybe use that. Wait, where is the opacity of it? Oh, yeah, right, opacity is a different value. Let me see here now. Fun. If I made the trail stay for much less, and yeah, with let's say you go to like uh, point 4. Yeah, fun stuff. Oh no, oh no, oh no, come back, come back. This looks pretty good, doesn't it? I mean, I'm gonna make a trail a little bit more. Like point, let's say 6.5. Yeah, okay. Now, now what I like to do is make these sort of stages that I wanna implement. So there's gonna be a map generator, and we'll probably use the trail component to draw the map actually, because it sounds very useful. Mm, right there. Mm-hmm. No shadows, please, for the trail. Be right back, I guess. Right, it was muted. Well, great. That's a little fuck up, but nothing I should be. Yeah, nothing game breaking, if I can call it that way. Now, going forward, I'll quickly make the interaction with that. So, if actually, let me first off private void movement. I'm just gonna extract that to a method. And now I'm gonna do the same for collisions. So actually you're right. On collision enter should be better. Simply on collision enter we're working in 2D. I forgot. Okay, so and I believe it wants something else here, right? Let me check. On collision enter 2D. Yeah, it wanted collision 2D. Okay, so huh. Yeah, we're gonna be checking for tags. So for now, let's just say that all of that has a tag called wall. Ooh, developing such small games is so easy when you come back to it after making a multiplayer. Okay, so if collision tag dot game object dot tag, does that make sense? Equals wall. Okay, yeah, nice. Then what? Private ball is alive equals true at first. And now all of that, let's say if is alive, do that. Nice. Okay, so let's say here is alive equals false. Nice. Everything working properly, I mean, hopefully. Now all of these will have to get a box collider 2D. And as a player, we're going to do the same. So now if I hit this, alright, that's because one of these has to have a rigid body, and it's definitely this one. Now the type, I'm gonna go with kinematic. I hope that kinematic works. Please tell me that kinematic works. Kinematic doesn't work. Great. Then it's gonna be dynamic. And what happens? Okay, yeah, gravity happened. Uh, okay. Yeah, that's more or less or the thing I wanted to have here going on. Good, nice. For now, this will do. So that we now have a good uh we can see that the detection of these is working. It's detecting these. So now, yeah, so now, let's try to generate a map like that. I just wonder. Also, what generally I want to see here being happening eventually is like, as a player, we're going to pass like these little stages. So let's say that we go on to like, let's say here, and at this point, the main camera will automatically do something like that, and will traverse to the next sort of um, little little challenge place where yeah, we're gonna be rotating like this once again, and of course we'll be getting faster and faster over time. Actually, I think we're a little bit too slow right now. Well, that was very fast then. Okay, see, that's nice. Okay, now actually for that speed we should also change the rotating strength a little bit. How would I go about generating a map like that? We have some more effects like that, don't we? There is a line as well. Uh, Let me check how line works, because I don't remember. So the line is here, it says, but I don't really see the line yet. Which value changes that? Nope. Okay, it's there, it's just very small for some reason. I can see it. It's like a single pixel. Um, one? Oh, okay, that makes sense. So you can modify its positions. That's actually pretty useful. I think we're gonna go with that. I like this idea. Now, let me just bring up that color we were talking about. Here and here. Because I can now pretty much make a whatever line I want. And I consider that to be a pretty great, actually. Do I have something like a line collider? No, there's only line renderer. Huh, I wonder how would one go about collision checking between that and this? Mm, is there something like that that lets you set up colliders? I wonder. Collider. Edge collider 2D. That should be perfect. Because now, even if I add a third one. Yeah, okay, look, it does that. It does that beautiful little thingy here. So that's exactly what we wanted. So I just gotta have to get a hold of the line component and my map generator and modify its values in some witty way. So let me just write here serialized field line renderer. Line renderer. Yeah. Now. Okay, so that's the first point of it. Now that's the second point. I can modify everything pretty much here. Now how do I do that map in a way that it makes sense and also in a way that it what does tolerance mean? Okay. Oh, loop. I could loop it, but I don't think that's a good idea. Corner vertices. Oh, you can like smooth it out. I love that. Okay, so let me see how smoothing it out looks. And let me double check that collisions between these work. So now if I... Okay. Doesn't seem like they do yet. There is something there. Oh, so that's the collider. Okay, so edge collider doesn't magically fix my problems, I see. It isn't too useful here. What is a composite collider? Wheel, terrain, polygon. What does that do? Okay, I don't think that's what we wanted. Edge doesn't work. Well, it's gonna be pretty bad if it doesn't have a collider option. And composite collider? What is that? Can I see where that collider is? Because I'm not gonna lie, I do not see it. I should just make my line smaller, should I not? so that I can see most of it at least. Oh no, it fell down. And that's probably because it got the rigid body here now. Okay. Well, that complicates things. But why doesn't edge work? I don't get it. Hmm. Well, it definitely doesn't communicate with that. Hmm. I'd like it to, not gonna lie. Hmm. So. Hmm. Okay. Wow. Object assign a collision. Attach. Okay. That's pretty hard, but for now, should I focus on that and use a different technology? A good question, honestly. Mm, what other options do I have for that? I can use a simply I can use a sprite. But just how many sprites am I gonna use? Well, this is turning out to be harder than I expected to. Uh, Even though I expected it to be pretty actually hard. Maybe if I did just instantiate these in proper ways. It does sound hard as hell, but let me try that. So maybe if its pivot would be like on its does it even have a pivot? No, it cannot have a pivot, can it? Yeah, that's because it is a sprite. Okay, so if it doesn't have a pivot, then it shall have a pivot because I'll make it a pivot. No, not like this. Mm, no, it has, let's say, 40 and 30. This is very, very random right now, but now, now 15 on Y axis. Am I thinking about this right? Mm, Basically, what I'm trying to achieve is it being in a very concrete spot where I can sort of move it. Oh, okay, so it's actually moving. So it's actually nearly working. Just gotta... Yeah, and now I can rotate it like around this point. Okay, great. So that's basically what I wanted, except I wanted it on not this side of an object, but so I want it here, 20. Yeah, that does give me a good bit of thing to work with. Um, so map block, let's say, like that. Then I guess the game will be a little bit more blocky than I thought originally, but I guess that should be no problem. Um, yeah, so mhm. Now let's say we have something like that. Uh-huh. So the map generator would work with these map blocks. Mm. Right, they have to have collisions, don't they? This will at least work. Uh, in that manner, that if I crash now. Right, they also have to have a concrete tag, which is wall. Nice. Mm-hmm. So at least that part is working now. Hmm. So let's now create a prefabs, and now a new map block, and let's just have that 0, 0, 0. Call it, yeah, and bam. Okay, so now these two, we're gonna be thanking them. For now, this will do. Now map generator, it will be supposed to. Maybe if we could, like, there are a few ways I can go about this right now. With one being, I spawn a concrete sort of pathway, which I think will work best. Okay, so pathways. Let's make that. And now here, um, let's make something like a pathway 1. Okay, and so a pathway will have a few things in it. First of all, I wanted um, to contain a I'm gonna quickly make myself a Gizmo script. So now here on draw gizmos, void on draw gizmo dot draw cube serialize field Is there something like that? No, there isn't. I don't care. Height. Let's say a float height. This is basically gonna be a little cube that'll help me keep a track of position of an object that doesn't exist. I mean that of an object that exists but is invisible, and it's gonna be visible only in like the scene because of that script. So does that work? Center. Okay, so center is transform position, and now size is gonna be height. Does that work or not really? Okay, it has to be a vector 3. So the new vector 3. Now height, and 0. Like this, it's gonna be 2D, I believe. And now, yeah. Okay, we have that now. So if I were to now create a game object called, let's say, a camera pause, and add a gizmo to it. If we know, yeah, as we can see, I get a little thingy here. And this is basically gonna be where I want the camera to. Oh, it also can it also take rotation and rotation? Okay, no, it has no other overrides. Well, it'll do. It'll do. So this is where the camera is gonna be going, ideally. Yeah, okay. Let's leave it at that for now. And hmm. How is it going to be able to spawn like a multitude of these? Let's try it for now. Like a map generator is gonna take it. This is gonna be a pretty hard logic here. But oh, I know, there will be just like the. Yeah, I have an idea for it. But for now, let me check here quickly. Right. So, a map generator is gonna void spawn map. Okay, now also another thing that is going to be needed inside this pathway is gonna be another object like that, which is winning collision, which basically is gonna be a moment at which you passed the sort of current little level of sorts, And this will have a collision 2D, box collider 2D. Now this is gonna go here and be exactly something like that. So now let's make it spawn these. So game object. These are gonna be pathways. Prefabs. Now spawn map and start. Definitely has to start at some point. Instantiate. Pathway prefabs. Elements. For now 0. A transform. Transform. I want a different one. Position. Let's see here. Okay. Now, what I actually want is for you to be related here. And now when I touch this winning collision, right now it's just an invisible thing that'll make you stop moving. Okay, it won't make you stop moving, it'll just make you bump into it. So this has to be a trigger. And now on trigger, the player has to, or actually maybe a pathway would do that. Which one would be better for it? Hard to tell. Game object new pathway equals this. Okay, now I'm gonna need a serialized field camera, main camera. My camera then. Dot transform dot position equals. Calls new pathway dot transform dot get child. And now the camera position, let me see, I believe it was 0. I'm not entirely sure. Dot transform dot position. And now this just has to be on minus 19.3 Z. So yeah. Right. We're catching some null references here, which is entirely acceptable. So what exactly happened? Right, it worked. It worked. It had the camera go where it wanted it to go. It's just that this camera position isn't really where we wanted it to be. Now also the camera rotation. Let's do the same. Before that, camera transform equals this. Camera transform dot position. And now the same but for rotation. That's gonna make things funnier. Definitely. Yeah, we got it. I believe so. Nice. Now that does sound good. Okay, so let's say that this is like the starting pathway. That'll always be a start, sort of. And if so, I can, with no worries, go out there and do something like that. Yeah, and now this does make sense. And this doesn't matter. Okay, something is shaping up here. And now, when we get to this point, I'd like the camera to quickly go. Mm-hmm. To quickly go ahead and join in on the pathway 2. And now pathway 2 would not have this. Would still have a camera position. Let's say a little bit of a different one, like that. This is gonna be fun. And now winning collision. Yeah, let's talk winning collision now. So so the player here on trigger enter 2D, this will have to communicate with the camera script. So serialized field camera, my camera. Is there even something like a camera script? No, there isn't yet. We'll have to do that then. C# script, camera script. Okay, so let's quickly code that. This will simply make the camera follow its current position it's gonna be having, so just public transform current position and dot start. At start, actually I believe this will have to be static too, so public static camera script. Nice. Now private void start. Now camera script equals this. Okay, so this will make it so that I don't have to do that. Camera script dot camera script. I just realized you guys may wanna have it a bit more visible, actually. Hi, Saro. Okay, yeah. So camera script dot camera script the current position equals collision dot position dot object dot transform. Okay. So now here transform dot position equals lerp how was it? Unity lerp. Okay, vector free dot lerp. Good. Linearly interpolates between 2 points. Okay, vector A being being our transform dot position, and vector B being current position. And now for T, dot magnitude. Uh, huh. And now the same sort of thing for a rotation. This will be funnier. And now this has to be, because yes. But you can use times, right? For now, let's exclude the rotation. And let's see what funny results this gives us. Honestly, quite curious right now. Okay, we're getting some null reference exceptions here. Right, that really much makes sense. That very much makes sense, because there's no camera script on the camera. And current position, yeah, it can stay being non-transform. Actually, it cannot. At first, it should be here. Is that right or nah? I don't think so. Map generator now. So my camera should not exist. And now everything my camera should be renamed to camera script. And now one other check I need to do is in here if current position doesn't equal null. Do that and don't do anything if not. Okay, coming back here, we're gonna yeah, we're gonna see this. Okay. Oh, it took a winning collision instead of camera pause. Also, it went there not too smoothly, which I do not like. But that in a second. For now, what I can say for sure. Hey, don't lose us. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. So what the player communicates right here is int index. Hmm. Actually, quaternion. Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, that's unexpected. What? Okay, it must be scaling wrongly. Yeah, that's what I thought. So this should spawn like... Okay, so now I can rotate it, yeah, around this axis. Oh, this is gonna be hard to master here. Honestly, this sounds like hell, but hmm. How do I go about this from there? Generally, what I would like to see is this spawning, but in a way that makes sense. Mm, next, transform. Mm-hmm. Mm, This is gonna be child number 2. Mm-hmm. And now we'll just say spawn a map segment. Okay, now this is an infinite loop, but okay, so yeah, I'm gonna have to end here. So yeah, we're gonna come back to this idea because yeah, it's nowhere near finished right now, but I'm just gonna quickly show off what's done right now. So give me a second for that. Right now, I mean, actually, it's gonna break pretty badly, but wow, that is a beautiful end of a stream because I've just yeah. um, I've caused an infinite loop, so yeah, let's end with that positive note. I'll show off what's done next time. I mean, probably you'll notice anyway. Like it's possible to be made out of the like last 15 minutes or so. Yeah, we'll see when I'll come back to this, because yeah, I had fun. I had more problems than I'd imagined I'd have, but I had fun. So we're definitely coming back here. And yeah, for now, cheese.